Every day begins with a decision. The decision to show up, to contribute, to give something of yourself to something larger than you. For the women of UAC of Nigeria PLC, that decision is not symbolic. It is deliberate. It is consistent. It is made every single day. And through that daily commitment, excellence is built. Deeply rooted in the bedrock of Nigeria's industrial evolution, UAC of Nigeria PLC has stood for over a century as a pillar of resilience and innovation. But legacy alone does not sustain progress. It is sustained by leadership, discipline, and by the intentional investment in people. Across the businesses, women are not merely participating in this legacy, they are shaping it, influencing decisions, strengthening governance, driving operational excellence, and refining strategy.
I've seen intentional leadership make a difference for women at UAC in very tangible ways. And I mean, you can see that in the representation across the group. We have women in a number of leadership roles. And if we drill down to the Holdco Executive Committee level, that number sits at around 57%. So you see that reflects deliberate decisions to elevate qualified women and ensure they are present at decision-making tables. We also understand the realities women face in corporate environments, which is why we operate a hybrid working model. We have a fully functional creche in place, and we also offer 6 months fully paid maternity leave to ensure that women have the practical benefits that they need to continue to advance in their career.
An important concept that is relevant is that success without succession is failure. Sometimes leadership is not always about leaning forward. Sometimes you have to step back and create space for others. When you empower them, they take accountability and can also grow into leaders as themselves. An important point about that is that leadership and legacy is not about the impact that I have made today, but by how many leaders are left behind to make an impact.
At the heart of this journey is a deliberate commitment to the empowerment of women, not only as leaders within UAC of Nigeria PLC, but as visionaries and strategic partners across our value chain. Empowerment here is not rhetorical, it is structural. It means creating access to opportunity, designing the systems where competence thrives, mentoring beyond obligation, building platforms that allow women to lead with authority and confidence. When leadership gives intentionally, the organization gains strength.
I'm always very, very excited when I meet people with potential, especially young people with a lot of potential. Unfortunately, I think across the UAC group and at CAP, we have a lot of young people with a lot of great potential. And I see sort of our responsibility as leaders to develop and grow that potential. And I think there are a few ways that we can do that. Firstly, is by giving responsibility and giving responsibility early. Secondly, by ensuring that we're giving people meaningful work to do. What does that mean? It means actually giving them a task that aligns with their own personal career aspirations and values. And secondly, something that is meaningful, something that is interesting, something that is exciting, and something that is stretching as well. And then also, it's very important to also ensure people are well empowered to do the work that they've been given, influence and affect the outcomes that they're responsible for delivering for the business. So ensuring people are well empowered, again, that's extremely important when you're trying to move people from potential to actually excelling and succeeding.
Everything changes, but not overnight, and certainly not magically. In my experience, when women genuinely champion one another, opportunities start to circulate differently. Instead of who is already in your network, the question becomes, who else is capable but unseen? And that shift alone alters pipelines, promotions, projects, speaking slots, board seats, and also the tone of leadership changes. Meetings become less about dominance and more about contribution when women back another. I've been in rooms where I've seen quieter voices speak up simply because someone said, "Let her finish. That's a good point." And standards rise because true championing isn't about protectionism. It's about holding each other accountable, holding each other to excellence. The strongest women I've worked with in the course of my career, they didn't just advocate for me, they challenged me and they made sure that I walked into rooms ready.
For us, excellence moves through our subsidiaries, manufacturing floors, compliance frameworks, and our supply chains. Success does not happen in isolation. It grows when one woman clears a path and others follow. From factory floors to corporate advisory roles, women across UAC are safeguarding quality, strengthening compliance, and nurturing innovation. The impact moves beyond office walls into our suppliers, our partners, and our broader value chain. This is how excellence multiplies.
One barrier I feel responsible for addressing is what I call the perfection barrier. Many women feel the need to meet every requirement before speaking up, applying for opportunities, or even stepping into leadership roles. This matters because it often causes talented and capable women to hold themselves back, even when they're fully able to contribute. When that happens, valuable ideas, perspectives, and leadership are missing from important spaces. I try to remove this barrier by encouraging women to trust their abilities and take opportunities even when they do not feel completely ready. So by mentoring, sharing experiences, supporting others to step forward with confidence, I hope to help create a culture where women feel empowered to contribute without waiting to be perfect.
Personally, professional investments have given me a sense of clarity, right? So I know the things I like, the things I value, and the things that I enjoy doing. It has also given me confidence in my voice, confidence in my skill as well, shown me that I have, influence and impact in the organization that I work with and across the people I also work with as well.
Sustainable excellence requires continuity and intention. Through structured learning, mentorship, and talent development, UAC is building more than careers, we're building capability. When we give knowledge, exposure, and confidence, we gain resilience, leadership readiness, and a generation prepared to shape the industries they inherit. And this is how institutions endure. At UAC, we believe transformation is the ultimate return, whether through mentorship, collaboration, or disciplined execution. The act of giving one's best creates a ripple effect.
Giving my best has demanded a lot of sacrifice and hard work. I've learned to prioritize tasks to ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. I recently had a baby and UFL has been the most supportive. I'm able to enjoy flexible work in that I work remotely, and my team at the office also works very hard to ensure that no balls are dropped at work.
I started my career in UAC 24 years ago. And in that period, my entry level was a secretary. And looking at my current level as a learning and performance manager, there's a wide gap. Learning and performance management role, I now do strategic work that impacts on the business bottom line. I can imagine doing an administrative work as a secretary and coming to the point of being a learning and performance manager that manages over 450 employees in the business, developing their training needs, building their skill, their knowledge, and their attitudes to ensure that they deliver effectively and efficiently on their role.
It turns potential into performance, ambition into measurable impact, responsibility into legacy. This balance between ambition and contribution defines the modern women in enterprise. True progress is not episodic.
I believe ambition and long-term impact are not competing forces. They reinforce each other. Ambition provides momentum, but long-term impact provides direction. The key is anchoring ambition in purpose and values. When success is defined not just by titles, but by standards we raise and the people we develop, ambition becomes sustainable. Success also comes from recognizing that career are marathons and not sprints. Investing in growth, support systems, and well-being ensures impact endures.
I hope we're the generation that normalizes that you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose between ambition and identity, between career and family, between being fully yourself and being excellent at your work. But I also want us to leave something behind for the men, because sustainable progress doesn't happen without them. I want us to build cultures and policies that give men the space to actively uplift the women in their lives, as colleagues, as partners, as fathers. Progress that engages only women is fragile. The legacy I want is one where the whole organization, men and women, owns this together. That's what I want the next generation to inherit, not just open doors, but a culture where they spend zero energy proving they belong and all of it on the work.
The greatest gift I've received from women early on in my career was confidence in me well in advance of me being ready. Women have trusted me with stretch roles and expanded responsibility, which has meaningfully accelerated my growth. Because of that, I've learned not only how to perform, but how to carry responsibility with steadiness. Now, I feel a high sense of responsibility to pay it forward. That, to me, is what leadership is all about.
Sustainable advancement for women within UAC means strategic inclusion, succession planning, economic influence, and leadership continuity. This International Women's Day 2026 will celebrate the women who build industries, families, and legacies. One decision, one bold idea, one intentional act of excellence at a time.